Hey there, YouTube. This is Mike from the Tidarium Hangar, and I am coming at you with a really quick video about Masterpiece Transformers. So, I want to give you my rundown of the current state of Masterpiece Transformers and really where they came from, why we have them, and the roots of Transformers, because a lot of people really don't know. Transformers started based off of these toys from Japan, and they compiled quite a few different toys together from different attempts at some transforming robots and made a series called Transformers, and Hasbro brought it to the US. Now, these are vintage Transformers from Hasbro, and they look great in alt mode, but they look absolutely terrible as robots. And you see the couple of Megatrons we have over here, they just look horrible. And they don't look anything like the cartoon. In the cartoon, they look fantastic. They look amazing. They really upscaled these figures to look amazing. But when you got the figures home in G1 and wanted to replay these events and play with them and make it look like the cartoon, you could not, because it was impossible. Because they look nothing like this. Bring us to modern day. Now adults are collecting Masterpiece Transformers. And they're trying to make Masterpiece Transformers from all kinds of different places to look exactly like they walked off of the screen. You know, and Optimus Prime here just walked right off the screen. Now, this is actually the Year of the Horse Prime, because I just don't want to take my other Prime out of the box. And he looks great. I can see him. I can enjoy him. But he's worth way more than a Year of the Horse Prime. So when they started this whole Masterpiece project, they started with this 12-inch scale. You got the 12-inch scale on Optimus Prime, and there's a KO version, and it's gold-plated. Here's the 12-inch Megatron, and yeah, he has trouble standing up, so I kind of helped him out. But they started with the scale of 12-inch, and I loved it, because 12-inch scales really well with your other 3 3/4-inch figures like Joe or Star Wars. Then they decided to switch the scale up to 9-inch. And I was like, what? I don't like this. The scale's not as well. But one more thing came with the rescaling to 9-inch was a higher price point. Yes, you could get the MP10, the MP01 Optimus Prime for $60. MP10 was $130. And for a brief moment of time, MP10 was $100 at Toys R Us. Toys R Us exclusive. Now, I have to admit, the 9-inch scale fits on my shelf better. I scaled these shelves to make room for all of my Star Wars figures that are 6x9. But I put the Transformers behind them, and yeah, 9-inch fits better. Obviously, that works out as kind of a happy medium. Now, some figures fit in this scale relatively well. Jetfire was already a large G1 figure, and I might have a slight obsession with Jetfire. Yeah, I guess I do. I mean, it stems from my keeping my childhood one in the box and only transformed it 3 times my whole life. And that might explain it. But Jetfire is actually supposed to tower over the rest of the Transformers, so he's really not to scale, although it looks really good on this shelf. Next, I want to talk about third party. Third party Transformers are just great. I mean, you got these companies of people that truly love this. They love Transformers. They want to make them just look like they walked off the screen. They want to actually beat Hasbro to the punch and Takara to the punch. And since the prices have gone through the freaking roof to buy a brand new Masterpiece or Takara or Hasbro version, you're looking at third parties actually being on par price-wise. I actually have a Polyon and I have Tyrant. And I gotta tell you that Apollyon was 150. Now they've got the actual Masterpiece Megatron 2.0 version coming out for 229. You can get Apollyon from anywhere from 50 to 80 bucks online right now, and I think it's a steal. If I knew that, I would have never bought them and waited and bought it. I pre-ordered Phoenix, but now I'm gonna wait and get a Kronos for about 100 or less. Kronos sucks, but he looks good on his shelf. Same thing with Sovereign. Sovereign is a upgrade to what I have, which is Tyrant. Tyrant looks good. Sovereign looks great. But you know what? Sovereign's another third party. Hasbro and Takara have yet to release the actual Galvatron. But I still like mine. If you have one, you spent the 150 or 65 or whatever bucks on this thing, keep it. Enjoy it. It's not worth another 140 or 150 to upgrade. But on the flip side, if you haven't yet, Sovereign is an absolute amazing figure. The next thing I want to talk about is Leader Class. Now, Leader Class Transformers, the Titan Returns, or just pretty much anything Transformers Leader Class, I think it scales almost to Masterpiece. It's almost 90% Masterpiece scale, and it's about 75% Masterpiece quality. But it looks great. This is a blaster that I couldn't believe they came out with. Now, obviously, it doesn't take G1 cassettes like Soundwave does, and it does not look as good in either mode. The blaster mode is just awful, but he looks good on my shelf, and I'm happy with it. Better than paying 130 for that third-party version, and for 40 bucks, it was great. You've got Titans that are gigantic, and almost feel like they would fit in with the line. I think that Devastator is amazing. So much that I have. Well, I've got two of them displayed, but I have a total of 5 of these guys. They are awesome. I love this Devastator. This is what they should have given us instead of that stupid movie Devastator that really offended me. But, I've got the Takara version here, got the US version there, and of course, they both have the foot upgrade. I mean, come on. The foot was terrible. Everything else was great. Other than the fact that it weighed like, half a pound. But it's still an awesome, awesome upgrade there. Next, I want to talk about KOs. When the MP10 Optimus Prime shot up to 300 bucks on eBay and just couldn't find them anywhere because, well, Toys R Us had 12 of those guys and sold out immediately. I had 2 in my hands, didn't want to wait in line. Thought, wait, I'll wait for what I did with all the other ones they had and buy one, get one half off. Plenty of opportunity to do that with Grimlock and Rodimus and all that stuff. Well, guess what? MP10, well, they only made 12, so we were not able to do that. So it was scarce for what, about a year and a half? Till they reissued with Year of the Horse, and they reissued 3 more times. So we'll get into that here in just a second. I always wanted a Masterpiece RC. Technically, she's in scale with the Carbots, the Autobot Carbots. But I still feel she's a little small. Would like her a little taller to kind of blend in with Prime and Hot Rod when he became Rodimus. But if you see her, she's an exact replica of Hasbro's version. But she's missing half the backpack because you can just take that off. And she looks a lot more like screen accurate. You've got these guys here who are third party also. You've got the Blitzwing, which has not been offered yet. You also have Soundwave or Shock Blast, which I think is the best third party version. And he looks great. He looks an homage to the toy. Not quite the cartoon colors. A lot bulkier than you see in the cartoon. And of course I have the Masterpiece version also. But I had this one first, so I leave it on display. And the Masterpiece version stays in the box for now. You also run into some American versus Japan issues. So, yeah, obviously Japan has some great upgrades, and they are more true to the cartoon, and it makes me sad when, of course, they don't release the good stuff in the U.S., and you have to import it, and you have to pay twice, 3, 5 times as much, but whatever. But, with the Titans Returns figures, I'm really disappointed that the Titans Returns U.S., they skimped on. Make them both the same. Jeez, we watched the same cartoon, or more or less, same animations. And last, I want to talk about KOs, and I've shown you some KOs and maybe call them third party, but this KO figure here is an Optimus Prime. He looks great. Exactly the same. I mean, it's one of the ways that you can get the really expensive figures. That's a KO there also. You can get those KO figures without having to spend a ridiculous amount of money. Third party over there. And you can get an awesome display going out of it. But you know, you're not going to get the quality. Well, I don't know, MPP-10, which is a 12-inch scale version of Optimus Prime, which no longer fits, is a great figure. I haven't touched it yet. RC is technically a KO, not a third party, but she's great. And I have no issues with her whatsoever. Wei Zhang really cares about what they do. And last, I just want to say, you know, if you like your G1 collection, you want to just stick with that, do it. You like Masterpiece? Well, it's super expensive. I used to buy a spare Masterpiece to accompany my next purchase for the next Masterpiece. So I would pay off my next purchase by selling my old secondary figure, and it would cover the purchase of the next ones. Well, I guess Takara and Hasbro figured all that out, and Toys R Us, whatever, and started charging instead of 60 or 55 like Walmart did per Masterpiece figure. They're charging 150 to 220 to just completely eliminate secondary market on that one. And I'm not going to buy a spare for that. In fact, I canceled my pre-orders because the prices are too high. I'll wait till the secondary market comes down on those. We'll see what happens in the future. Right now, I kind of am a standstill with my Masterpiece collection because I think pricing's too high. I think that third party actually delivers better quality product, and I might just wait for KO. Who knows? But this is the Imperial Hangar. Yeah, we're a Star Wars YouTube site covering Transformers.